We've all been there, staring at a blank page or facing an intimidating task, feeling overwhelmed and second guessing whether we even have what it takes to start. This year, I made myself a promise. I said to myself, just go for it. Whatever the challenge, no matter how impossible it seems, you've got this. And you know what? This has helped me to achieve so much more than I thought was possible only 1 year ago. Today, I want to share with you a lesson that has helped me tremendously on my journey. The first lesson is to go after process, not perfection. When you reflect on your journey, everything makes sense. Why? Because you've embraced the struggles and learned from them. That's the point. It's not about knowing exactly how you'll get there. The path will never look the way you imagine. It's about resilience, and it's about getting back up after every fall. Because growth only happens when you allow yourself to stumble first. Too often we don't give ourselves permission to try, to fail, to fall. But if we don't fall, we never learn how to rise. And if we don't rise, we'll never grow beyond the person who's too afraid to begin. For years, I stood in my own way. I overthought everything, so I decided to stop. I told myself, screw it. At worst, I'd end up with a bunch of embarrassing videos that no one would care about anyway. And ironically, that mindset freed me. It allowed me to stop obsessing over getting it right and just start doing. One of the biggest lessons I've learned this year is that anyone who has ever been vulnerable, whether starting a new project, sharing their story, or standing in front of a camera, knows exactly how hard it is to take those first steps. That shared understanding connects us. For me, that vulnerability has been transformative. It's not just about creating YouTube videos or standing in front of the camera. It's about growth, both personally and professionally. By giving myself permission to post imperfect videos as a learning experience, I've connected with incredible people. People like Sven and Bennett, who've taught me so much and inspired me to keep growing. We connected because we share similar struggles and want to surround ourselves with others who are also trying to navigate life's challenges. This connection wouldn't have been possible if I had expected perfection from my first few videos. What I've learned is this: when you create, even imperfectly, you start to break free from your own limiting beliefs. You feel that heavy knot in your stomach, that discomfort of stepping outside your comfort zone. And you know what? That's exactly where you want to be. That's where the growth happens. Suddenly, messy becomes good. Done becomes better than perfect. And because you're in it for the long run, the journey becomes more valuable than the end result. So here's the truth. Nobody really knows what they're doing. And that's okay. All we need to do is start. Lesson 2. Say yes with confidence. I remember hanging up the phone one day, thinking to myself, if only they knew how little I actually know. Yet this year I embraced the confidence to figure things out on the go. I began saying yes to opportunities even when I had no idea how I'd pull them off. I adopted a yes mentality, saying yes to nearly every opportunity that came my way. The result? I ended up diversifying my work and taking on projects I never would have imagined at the start of this year. This openness also allowed me to truly collaborate with others. Often I found myself with countless questions while preparing for new challenges. I'd reach out to friends, grab coffee, and brainstorm different scenarios. These conversations not only helped me to solve problems, but also deepened my relationships. Over time, simply staying connected and present in the lives of other filmmakers led me to incredible work opportunities. Stephen R. Covey, in his book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talks about how interdependence is far more valuable than independence. He highlights the power of collaboration and the skills gained by working with others. Once you start asking the right questions and engage with like-minded people, you'll realize just how transformative this approach can be. Sometimes saying yes right away is more important than letting doubts creep in and risk missing an opportunity. You never know what a new opportunity might hold, who you'll meet, what you'll learn, or where it might take you. By being honest, motivated, and genuinely interested in growth, you can achieve far more than you imagine just by saying yes to projects that scare you. When you embrace this mindset, you naturally attract people who value your energy and proactive approach. Often being a positive, adaptable person who figures things out as challenges arise is more valuable than being technically perfect right from the start. Here's the technique I use. Say yes, even when it scares you. You might think you're not ready or suited for the role, but trust me, by the time it starts, you will be. The first step is simple: secure the job. Once you've committed, your brain will instinctively begin searching for solutions. You'll ask questions, focus on what matters, and dive into the work. Commitment combined with a deadline can take you further than you'd expect. This might be what will bring you to the next level. It certainly did for me. Rest is productive too. This is probably the lesson I struggle with the most. I often get caught up in the mindset that working more automatically means making progress, completely forgetting to allow myself time to process. Ironically, this approach is incredibly counterproductive. Whenever I slow down, whether it's taking a long walk or randomly pulling a book off the shelf, I immediately feel the stress begin to fade. My mind clears, ideas start flowing, and inspiration strikes. This shift gives me better ideas, more energy, and a renewed connection to my intrinsic motivation. It makes all the difference. The times I felt deeply frustrated while working were when I was overwhelmed by the noise, unable to hear my own thoughts. It made me lose sight of the bigger picture, and I realized I was expending energy in ways that worked against me instead of for me. So I had to learn to step back and take breaks, even when it felt like I couldn't afford the time. It's worth it in the long run. That space allows for reflection and introspective, which is crucial for growth and progress. Don't forget, rest is productive too. In a world that glorifies busyness and constant productivity, it can be difficult to justify taking breaks or not constantly pushing ourselves. But the truth is, we all need time to recharge and reflect in order to truly grow and reach our full potential. As creatives, separating your personal life from the constant pressure of paying the bills can be an enormous challenge. I've lost track of how many times I've wished for the stability of a corporate job, only to realize that this line of thinking was flawed. One thing I've learned is this: you need rest to create your best work. The more intentional you are about resting, the better your ideas will be. Allow yourself to become someone valued for their intellectual property rather than their technical skills. And ultimately, that's what will also elevate your income in the industry. So next time you feel guilty for taking a day off or slowing down your work pace, remember that rest is an essential part of the process. So let's stop undervaluing rest. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So here we have my 3 top lessons that I will take into 2025. If you are still listening, thank you so much. Thank you for being on this journey with me, and I hope that my reflections have resonated with you in some way. I know it can be hard to adopt these lessons into our daily lives, especially when we are constantly bombarded with the pressure to be productive and successful, but prioritizing rest, self-care, and personal growth is crucial in achieving true success and fulfillment, at least in my opinion. As we move forward into the future, let's challenge ourselves to prioritize our well-being and happiness above all else. Let's remember that taking breaks doesn't make us lazy or unproductive. It makes us human. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If this resonated with you, leave a comment below. I'd truly love to hear your thoughts. And hey, don't forget to take a break after this. You deserve it. Cheers.